don't have to be beautiful to turn me on. I just need your body, baby, from dusk till dawn. You don't need experience to turn me out. Just leave it all up to me. I'm gonna show you what it's all about. You don't have to be rich to be my girl. You don't have to be cool to rule my world. Ain't no particular sign I'm not compatible with. I just want your extra time and your kiss. That was a cover of Kiss by Prince. I want to show you how you can do an acoustic guitar cover of virtually any song using a lot of the principles that we look at here, whether the original has a lot of guitar on it or not. It has so many modern pop songs and 80s songs, you know, they don't have a lot of guitar on them. And I'm also going to show you a couple of the signature moves of this song, which are so great. Starting right now, but please know this is such a beginner-friendly tutorial. This is basically a 12-bar blues in A, using the chords A, D and E. That's how it can be done. But the first signature chord that we're going to look at is... oh yeah! I would think of this as an E7 add 9, and this is played with the 3rd and little finger at the 12th fret on the thinnest E string, our first finger at 11th fret, and then the middle finger at 12th fret. We're not playing the thickest 2 strings, and we just hit these on a down and up strumming pattern, just like we know the signature song goes. This is a very similar shape to what we'll be using later in the song. And all of these are kind of 7th shapes, and the one that I know most of my followers that are watching now will be familiar with is this B7 shape. Standard B7 chord. That's a real gateway chord to being able to use that same shape all over the neck. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that first of all. That's the little intro and the little signature part of Kiss, which is so audible on the recording. But the rest of this song is very much based upon a 12-bar blues in the key of A. So that means we'll be using the chords A, D, and E, or what we call chord substitutions for those chords. So for example, when I hit this, that is a substitution just for the standard E chord, and it just sounds a bit more jazzy, that's all. It just jazzes it up a little bit. It is longer, so we're not staying strict to the 12-bar blues form here, but we do stay on this A chord, and all I'm doing here is just playing the 1-finger A chord. It would be exactly the same as if I played this A. All I'm doing to play the signature riff is hitting 8 strums palm muted, and then lifting off on the first one, which you can do exactly the same with the flat part of the first finger in a barring fashion. Which actually, if your fingertips hurt all the time, playing the 1-finger A chord really saves your fingers. It just allows your fingertips to get a little bit of rest, and that 1-finger A chord is really useful. And of course, we work through the lyrics. You don't have to be beautiful, and we stay on that A chord until you don't need experience. That's the key word when we're going to go to that D chord. Experience, just the standard D chord. Turn me out. Back to the A, just leave it all up to me. I'm gonna show you what it's all about. That's the 1-finger A chord. And then we go, you don't have to be rich. We play an E chord. To be my girl, you don't have to be cool, is a D chord. To rule my world ain't no particular sign I'm not compatible with. To the D chord, I just want your extra time and your ding-ling-ling-ling kiss. And then we'd go back. So as an example just of that chorus, I think is where you might need some help. You don't have to be rich To be my girl, you don't have to be cool. To rule my world, ain't no particular sign I'm more compatible with. I just want your extra time and your, that seventh shape that we looked at earlier, kiss. And that will get you through the majority of the song, especially the, you know, the parts that have the lyrics and things like that. On the guitar solo, really, it's again just sticking on that A. So from there, you can see I'm taking a lot of artistic license, which I have, again, no right to use. I'm not in any way competing or better than Prince. This is just a way we can do a version of this song. And I'm commonly using that rhythm, 3, 4, you know, and hammering on these fingers really. And that other part was on with the first finger. So there's lots of little things like that you can add when you find what works after a bit of experimentation. This is a little bit of skills that are in my trick bag from playing a lot of classic rock and AC/DC style tutorials, okay? That's what we do. You may have different skills in your trick bag, know how to play different E shapes around the neck or anything. Use those. Use whatever is in your trick bag, as it were, and we build up these skills as we go. I think a great one to use, though, which is an E7, that would be our E7 shape that we could use with our middle finger as 7th fret, then 6th fret and 7th fret, and then we had a sharpened 9 here, which I think really works with this E chord particular. You don't have to be rich to be my girl, you don't have to be cool. We've gone for the D7, just add the 9 because I've not got this sharpened 9 there. Ain't no particular sign I'm more compatible with, I just want your extra time. And the great thing about using those chords is you're already in that same shape to move it up there. So doing a little practice, moving between those two chords, means you're ready for it. I'm playing that in the fashion of, you don't have to be rich to be my girl, you don't have to be cool to rule my world. Very similar to how I was doing the others. So, you know, I think basing this on an 8th palm muting sort of mimics the rhythm of the original while also doing what works well on acoustic guitar. It's just an idea. Then of course we hit that part. One cool thing I think we can add is you know, we've got that little melody there. If you haven't done it already and you're not used to this sort of doing acoustic covers, I would highly recommend just having a jam along to the original recording, which is in the key of A, and just trying to get through it with the whatever chords you're happy with, even if it's just the open chords, just to figure out the bulk of the song before adding this kind of detail. It is far more important for the majority of my audience who's likely watching this video to get that first, and then look to add the detail over the coming days and see what we can add to it. So one thing that we can add to it when we get that, ding 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 ding. So it's just that little. This is like an A major bar chord shape, or even like the F major 7 slid up to 5th, 6th, and 7th fret. And that's that part. And then of course we do have the signature solo. And that is this chord. And I'll be honest, I don't even know what chord that is. I just looked at the music video and saw where the person playing guitar in that was putting their finger. It's pretty cool. Very cool chord. If I was to hazard a guess, I would say it's an A minor 7, pretty much. Think about that as our A minor. Yeah, I mean, could be known as other things, but I think that's a good enough reason for it to be called that. And then, of course, we can keep, I'd say the first finger should mute the D string, but we can keep the A note ringing out because it is an A minor chord after all. which means if you're doing this on your own as a version for an open mic night or something, it means that you can do this on one guitar because you've got a little bit of a note there. Really cool. They're all the different sections of how to play Kiss by Prince. If you do a version of it, send me a link to it on YouTube. I want to hear it. It's such a quality song, and I hope you check out my other Prince tutorial for Purple Rain and give me any other requests for songs or Throwback Thursdays or anything you want. Hope to see you again on this Andy Guitar YouTube channel.